This DV8 off-road FS-13 hammer-forged stubby front bumper with fog light provisions is for those of you that have a 2007 to 2018 JK that are looking for a stubby front bumper that has a good number of off-road features built right into it. A stubby front bumper is going to give your Jeep an aggressive off-road styling and provide a ton of clearance for big 37-inch tires. So this is going to be a really nice choice for a lot of you that are either looking for this bumper because you like the look or need it because you have to have the functionality. This is going to be a nice easy bumper to install, definitely 1 out of 3 wrenches, and we'll talk more about that in just a second. When you're looking at a stubby front bumper, you're going to have to give something up. There's not a lot of real estate here, there's not a lot of room, so a lot of stubby front bumpers will forego some features. This bumper is still packed full of features, has a ton of stuff that I really like built right into it, and it's all going to do it at a high quality and a pretty fair price. This bumper is built from 3/16" steel. Of course, it has some heavier stuff where those D-ring mounts are. This is going to be a 110-pound stubby front bumper, so this thing is really, really beefy. There's a lot of gusseting, there's a lot of steel here. This is not a lightweight bumper, but it is going to offer a lot of strength. So if you're using it for a lot of recoveries, it's going to be able to hold up really, really well for you. So what it's going to have is almost a factory style to it. Of course, a shorter style, but factory in the way that it has these bump outs here right around where the actual frame horns are. It does have some additional style to it, some additional angles, and some stuff that makes it different, but these little bump outs, they always remind me of a factory front bumper, and I like that tie-in, that little bit of a nod to the factory styling of the Jeep. But again, this is a nice stubby bumper, so here's where the frame horns are. You just get a little bit of a finishing angle here that stick out past that. Other than that, it is going to be nice and short, nice and compact. Up top, you're going to have a little bit of a hoop. That's going to add some style, maybe a little bit of protection if you're running a narrow trail. It's going to push brush out of the way so it's not going to scratch up your grill. But more than that, it's going to provide you with some light mounts right up top here. You're going to have 2 tabs to mount some lights on. You're going to, of course, have your D-ring mounts, and this does come with D-rings on it already. That's certainly not going to be a make or break whether the bumper comes with D-rings or not, but it is nice that you don't have to remember to order those separately. They're going to come pre-installed on the bumper for you. And as it says in the title, this does have provisions for a factory fog light. So if you have a factory plastic front bumper, not one of those special edition front bumpers, you're going to be able to just unbolt your factory fog light housing and bolt it right into this bumper. I like that. You have the wiring, the switching, the light itself. You don't have to go out there and buy something or find something that fits in a hole. This is set up for those factory fog lights. And again, that's something that you're not always going to find in every other bumper that is out there. So overall, I personally like the style of this bumper. If you like the style of it as well, I think it also has a lot of off-road features built right into it that are really nice. And overall, it's just going to be a nice, strong, stubby front bumper. Now remember, the install team will show you how to get this bolted up.
First thing we're going to do is uninstall our factory bumper. We're going to start by unplugging the fog lights.
All right guys, this is going to be kind of hard for you to see at home, but all you're going to do is go right to the back side of your fog light, squeeze the clip, and pull away from your fog light. You're going to do this on both sides.
Next thing we're going to do is remove this plastic panel. You can either use a flathead screwdriver or a removal tool. All right guys, the next thing you're going to want to do is remove the 18mm nuts. You have 2 on each side of the frame rail, which means 4 on the driver's side and 4 on the passenger side. Let's get to it. Now we're going to move to the other side of the frame and get the remaining 2 nuts on the driver's side. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now that we have our fog lights disconnected and our nuts off the back of the bumper, we're going to go ahead and pull it off the Jeep. Now that we have our bumper off the Jeep, we're going to go ahead and remove the factory fog lights so we can install them in the aftermarket bumper. To do so, you're just going to remove the 8 screws holding the fog lights into the brackets. All right guys, now that we have our factory fog lights uninstalled, we're gonna go ahead and put them on the new bumper. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is put the 4 speed clips on each side. You're just gonna go ahead and slide these speed clips right on, line them up with the holes. Just a reminder, you're gonna wanna have the threaded portion towards the front of the bumper. Once you have your 4 speed clips installed on the one side, you're gonna go ahead and move to the other side. Once you have all of your speed clips installed, you're going to go ahead and line up your fog lights and get ready to mount them. You're going to want to get all of the screws in place before you tighten them down for any last minute adjustments. Once you have all your screws tightened by hand, you're going to go ahead and tighten them up. Be sure not to over tighten them because you will crack the fog light housing. Now you're going to want to repeat the process on the other side. Now that you have your fog lights installed, we're going to go ahead and move on to the winch plate. Now I want to mention you do not have to run the winch plate, but this is for those of you who will be running a winch plate. All right guys, so the first thing you're going to do to install your winch plate is line the holes on the winch plate up with the holes on the bumper. Once that's lined up, you're going to go ahead and take a bolt and a washer and put it through the hole. You're going to do this on the 4 corners. Once you have all 4 bolts in, you're going to go ahead and put the nuts on the opposite side. You're going to want to go ahead and get everything hand tight. Now that you have your winch plate hand tight, you're going to go ahead and use a 16mm socket as well as a 16mm closed end wrench and tighten it up. Now that we have our fog lights and winch plate installed, we're going to go ahead and get the bumper installed on the Jeep. Once you have your bumper on, you're going to use the provided hardware to secure it to the Jeep. First thing you're going to do is put your washers on, followed by the provided 19mm nuts. Now this will be hard for you guys to see, but you're going to do the same exact steps as the other side. Now before we start on the other side, I just want to point out that the installation of this bumper is just like the uninstallation of your factory bumper in reverse. Again, we're going to put our washers on, followed by our nuts. And we're going to go ahead and repeat this process on the inside of the frame rail. And the last thing you're going to do is plug your fog lights in. And with everything tightened up and plugged in, that wraps up our review and install. You can check out more at ExtremeTerrain.com.